Hello and welcome back to the OC Sports channel, and we're going to start this off with one of the darkest days in Colombian soccer history. Colombia has just lost a home game to Peru in Barranquilla with almost a sold out crowd, and it's now looking like Qatar 2022 is unlikely, and we have to start off nowhere else with the coach. Reinaldo RUEDA has to go. I don't care that qualifying is almost done. I don't care, because even if he manages to get us through to the World Cup, which is a possibility, although hard, we're going to do nothing there. He has absolutely no idea what he's doing with our team. He has no idea how to set up the team. I've never seen a Colombian team look so bad, so unenergetic, so basic and simple. There's no creativity. The team can't put 5 passes together. I'm going to give you some stats to start it off. He was a manager before, I forgot what season, but in general, with Reinaldo RUEDA, we've had 490 minutes of soccer without a goal. We've had 8 draws, 6 wins, 5 losses. Absolutely atrocious. Absolutely terrible. We've had 490 minutes without a goal, with Duan Zapata, who scores in Italy for fun, Muriel, who scores in Italy for fun, Falcao, who's getting his foot back and has one of the surprises of the season in La Liga. He's got I think 6 or 7 goals this season. Incredible. What other strikers am I forgetting about? Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz just got signed to Liverpool for around 50 million. Player of the season in La Copa America, and then in Porto, he's the best Portuguese player in that league. Santos Borré went to Germany. He's doing his move now. He scored a couple goals. What do all these things have in common? They don't score for Colombia. It's the manager. It's not the players. These players, when they go abroad, they do what has to be done. All of them do. Now, I'm not saying it's not their fault, because a lot of them do. None of them performed today at all. We can all say, oh, it was probably and the sad thing is, this was the best game. This was the best game in the Reinaldo RUEDA era. This was the one where we had more chances, more opportunities. Although it wasn't really from creativity, it was just crosses. I think we had, how many crosses did we have in general? I don't even know. But we've had so many crosses. Just cross into the box. Yerry Mina, we expect Yerry Mina to score all the headers, and he doesn't even deserve to start for us. Yerry Mina is more of an asset offensively for Colombia than as a defender, and he's a center back. That's just to show you how lacking we are. We look at the lineup. We look at this lineup. Falcao, one of the best goal scorers in history for Colombia, as well as one of the best strikers in general in history. Luis Diaz, amazing. Barrios, Uribe, for their clubs, they're rock solid as center mids. They get their job done. Have they been good defensively? I would probably say yes. They were probably alright. They don't do anything forward. They make the simple pass. They can't make a 30-foot long ball. None of that. Rodriguez, not bad, but that's not something that we want to say with James. If we go to James and we go, not bad, that's something that shows that maybe we should be looking forward. James should be one of the ones that's the shining star of the team. Makes the team, comes together, pushes people forward, shows creativity, makes the pass that no one expects, shoots from distance, gets the team motivated. Not bad is not good enough. James looked tired. He looked like he couldn't keep up. First half, alright. Second half began, his legs were done. He couldn't make a sprint. He couldn't do anything. That's probably the Qatar League that's doing him to him, that he can't get accustomed to it. Mina and Sanchez never look solid at the back at all, ever. In any game they've looked solid. We've drawn so many games and we haven't conceded, but it was more of the lack of offense from the other teams than I would say our own center backs. There was never a game where I say, damn, Mina and Sanchez looked rock solid. They blocked everything. They defended. It was more of probably Ospina's heroics and the other team missing. But I've never seen them look rock solid. Peru had one chance and they split them open. Easily. Split them open. What happened? Mina was up there. He was halfway up the field. And one was a counterattack. But why? Because our strikers can't score. We need Mina as a midfielder. Because our strikers can't score and we're looking for a goal. That's how bad we are right now. That Mina has pretty much playing a center mid role when he's a center back. And then he doesn't even recover when he goes back. All these problems comes from a lack of goals. All of this. I feel like when we start scoring, our midfield gets better, our defenders get better, probably even our goalkeeper. But they're not helping the situation either. I don't think there's a single player or a single position where I can feel comfortable with this Colombian squad. I would have said Ospina, but after today, I can't even trust him anymore. I can't. After that goal, they literally passed it to him. It was more of a pass than a shot, and it was to his near side, and he let it in. When it's a World Cup game and we're pushing forward, we need him on his A game. We can't allow stuff like this to happen. It's absolutely dreadful. It's dreadful. The only player I would give my man of the match, for Colombia at least, to Mojica. I've never liked him. I thought he was a bang average player. He showed resilience today. He went up the field. He went back. He stopped so many of Peru's counterattacks. Even on forward, he took some shots. He showed heart. He showed motivation, which was a lot more than any of the players that I'm naming right here. Falcao, he looked like he tried, but he couldn't do anything. Falcao is a player that I think we all know is probably, he is about a couple years out of his prime, pretty much. And it's a game that he shouldn't be starting. It really isn't a game that he should have been starting. Peru, we all knew that Peru was going to look to park the bus. We should have went full throttle with big attackers, big strikers, and then put Falcao or put Falcao at the end after the two young strikers did their job, like Boré. He would have been perfect for the only striker. He would have been perfect for the only striker. We don't needed two strikers. We needed one striker. Maybe put Cuadrado more in an offensive role than an defensive, because right now I don't think it's a good idea to put him in an offensive role. And that's what we would have done. Put DeCillo there, or damn, if you can put, I don't even care if we could put in that left back role. Because Cuadrado's going to be going up and down either way if he needs support. Either way, Peru, we all knew, weren't looking to go toe-to-toe with Colombia. They were looking to park the bus from the very beginning. We already knew that. No reason to put Cuadrado as a right back. No reason to put Falcao at the front. He should have won in at least in the second half, because we all know he ain't going to last 90 minutes. And you know what the coach did? He took him out at like the 80th or 70th minute. What? So that the other player can have 10 minutes to play? 10 minutes to play? Put Miguel Borja for 10 minutes? 10 minutes isn't enough time to get anything done. Unless a miracle happens. Falcao should have been out in the 70th minute, tops. I would have taken him off probably in the 50th or 60th minute. Personally, I think he was done by then. Borja didn't offer anything, probably, but at least he would have had fresher legs. All of them. Alzate, terrible substitution. Why would we put another center in the mid? Why? That wasn't what we needed. We needed more attack or more stability. He didn't even bring more attack or more stability. We looked even more unstable with him. Harold Preciado didn't do anything. Didn't get a chance. Only like 5 or 10 minutes. No point in putting him in. Yimi Charao, it looked like he was running around like a headless chicken. He didn't know what to do. He had absolutely no idea what to do. There was no sense of leadership. There was no sense of communication. There was no sense of desire from this team. And it was so easy for Peru to split us open. So easy. One through ball, and Mina was caught chasing. And Ospina didn't help his case either. Absolutely terrible goalkeeping. Terrible positioning. Terrible attempt to save the ball. And it was, all in all, terrible. This is one of the worst Colombian teams I've ever seen. With one of our best players ever. I understand we're complaining like it's like the 2002, 2003 team, because we have no talent. Falcao, Boré, Barrios, Cuadrado, Mina, Sanchez, Ospina, Diaz, all of these are European players. All of these in the top 5 leagues. Mojica too, he's in Spain. Not in the best team, but he's there. Barrios is in the Champions League. Cuadrado is in the Champions League. Sanchez and Mina are both in the EPL. Diaz just got signed to Liverpool. And Duan Zapata and Muriel, I know they weren't here for this game, but this isn't just the first time happening. This is 490 minutes without a goal with one of our best strikers, best striking generation of all time. We've had Falcao, Zapata, Muriel, name another Colombian team that have had those caliber of 3 strikers. That are doing it both for their country and both for Europe. And I can't name one performance with Reinaldo that we should keep him on board. That I even saw a sliver of prosperity. Funny enough, probably the best game was probably against Peru, where we won 3-0. At the start, we were like, okay, let's see what he can do. After that, 490 minutes without a goal. More draws than I can count. Bang average. Absolutely bang average. Boring football. At least if all the games were like today, that would be understandable. But this isn't a first time thing. Like, we've lost or drawn so many games because we've done absolutely nothing. The last 2 games against Paraguay and Peru, haven't scored, but at least created chances. But that's no excuse. He had plenty of time to sort this shit out. He had plenty of time. He's had, I think, 10 games in charge. Probably even more. Plus the Copa America. What am I saying? He's had so many games in charge to get this shit sorted. And he hasn't. 490 minutes without a goal with Colombia's golden generation of strikers. And he's made it extremely hard for us to get through to Qatar. And Colombia not being there would be a shame, as we would have a wasted generation. It's also kind of the fans' fault, because at no point in the qualifying did I expect to be in this situation. At no point in qualifying did I think any Colombian was expecting us not to go to Qatar. We probably were saying, we'll probably scrape by at worst. But now we're in 6th position, 3 points back. And we have Argentina, Bolivia, and Venezuela left. Argentina is a must-win game. And when you have a must-win game against Argentina, it shows that you're in a dire position. And that's what we are right now. Bolivia should be winnable. As for the just lost to Venezuela, their World Cup hopes are probably ended. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just draw that game, knowing how Colombia's been playing. And then Venezuela has always been a thorn in any of Colombian history. With Beckerman is a recipe for disaster. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, what I think would happen is Colombia beating Argentina, Colombia beating Bolivia, and then us losing to Venezuela and being knocked out. That would be a Colombian thing to happen. What I really think is going to happen? I think we're probably going to draw against Argentina, beat Bolivia, and then Venezuela is a must-win game. And I have absolutely no idea how that's going to go. What I want to happen is us to win our next 3 games. Even if we win our next 2 games, RUEDA has to go. He has to go. There's nothing left for him at this country. There's nothing left for him to do. He's had opportunities, and he's given us one of the worst Colombian teams with one of the best talents this Colombian team has ever had. It's absolutely unacceptable for a team like Colombia to miss out the World Cup with the squad they have. It is absolutely unacceptable for a Colombian team to lose at Peru at home. It is absolutely unacceptable for a Colombian team to go 490 minutes without a goal. To have 8 consecutive draws. I don't know when was the last time we won. Let's check when was the last time Colombia won. Let me check here. Colombia. Checking on my phone. Okay, let's go matches. So, lost to Peru. We beat Honduras in a friendly. That doesn't mean shit. Tied to Paraguay. Lost to Brazil. Tied to Ecuador. Tied to Brazil. Tied to Uruguay. Beat Chile 3-1. Our last win was against Chile in September. That was 2 months ago. Our last win was 2 months ago. We've won 1 game in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 7 games, we won 1 game. It's just, and it's sad because it gives us false hope. Because even if we want to go to the World Cup, with this manager, we won't do shit. We would get embarrassed. This is what Peru did to us. What about France? What about Germany? What about Spain? Shit, I would be worried if we had to play against the US or Canada or Mexico. I wouldn't be confident against any team. Any team in the world I would be scared to play with the manager we have. This is time for him to go. He has to resign. He has to quit. Colombia has to find an interim manager or something against Argentina. I don't want him to see him at the Argentina game and find a new replacement because this is unacceptable. At least maybe with a new coach, we might have a new coach syndrome. But honestly, I'm worried. If Colombia doesn't make it to this World Cup, I'll be devastated. And there's just so many issues that he's had. What was all that James Rodriguez talking? All those issues with James that he didn't call up in those games that we draw, where he could have done something. He didn't call him up for any game for issues, let's say, or because he wasn't good enough, which most of the people said okay. But then you call him right now. You call him when this is probably the worst James Rodriguez. At least in Everton, he was at high performance. He was at least physically fit. And you didn't call him because he wasn't good enough. And you call him now when he's playing in a Qatar league, where he gets red cards left, right, and center. And the worst part is just he's not even bad for us. He was by far not even our worst player. Probably mid. Probably better than Cuadrado, for sure. Cuadrado's killing it in Juventus and comes to Colombia and doesn't know how to cross a ball, doesn't know how to beat a player, doesn't know how to pass. All he knows is how to run, apparently. Sanchez has been looking good for Tottenham recently. He forgot how to defend. Ospina, been in contact for other clubs. He's one of Napoli's probably #1 goalkeeper. He's rotated. He's playing Champions League. He's in the Serie A. Can't save a pass. Uribe and Barrios, rocks for their teams. Starters. Out of energy. Diaz signed the contract for Liverpool, and it seems like he forgot that he had obligations with Colombia. It's just, you look at this team and you don't know what's gone wrong, and the only thing you can think about is a manager. There's absolutely no reason why this team shouldn't be winning. Shouldn't at least score a goal. Shouldn't at least be playing good football. You could say Peru and Paraguay was good football, but what about the other games? All the other games, absolutely dreadful. I probably slept through those, and there's no difference. There's no sense of initiative. There's no sense of innovation. This is in the same team as in putting out, just with like different players probably. Same formation, same tactics, nothing new. Nothing new at all. I still don't understand the substitutions. He makes the subs so late. Everyone saw Falcao was tired, and he keeps him on. Uribe and Barrios. Why? Those weren't the issues, and you switch on for players that don't make sense. A couple games ago, he switched out Luis Diaz when he was our best player that game. He switched them out for Borja or something. It's just his substitutions don't make sense. His tactics don't make sense. His player relationships don't make sense. And the results are dreadful. There's no one reason. The only reason we should consider keeping him on is because we've kept him on for too long, and it's probably too late for manager to actually do shit to get us into qualifying. If he manages to get us to the World Cup, kick him out. Kick him out after. As soon as we qualify, look for the manager. Colombia's one is rich. We have money. Look at the Europeans. God damn, even take Beckerman back. I don't care. Look, we have the opportunity to get world-class coaches, and we're selling with RUEDA, who's already coached us and has done nothing. We've given him so many chances, he's done nothing. There hasn't been a single result where I felt hope, I felt pride to be a Colombian fan. at least with Quitos, it didn't work out. Didn't understand South American football. There was results. That 2-0 win against Argentina in the Copa America made me believe that we could win that competition. It didn't end up how we wanted to. Colombia fizzled out in that tournament, but at least there was a result to hang on. With this guy, there's not a single result where I can go and look and be proud. Absolutely nothing. He has to go. He has to be sacked. Colombia needs to start from the absolute bottom, tear people out, look for a new solution, because with this, if we don't go to World Cup, it's a disaster. If we go to World Cup playing like this, it's going to be another disaster. So right now, it's a terrible position, either or. But Colombia has to go to World Cup, and the FA have to start studying or looking for a way now. Because if Colombia don't go to World Cup, the fans will not forget this. That they gave up on a golden generation of soccer. This is Falcao and James' last World Cup, Ospina's last World Cup, Cuadrado's last World Cup. And it's an abomination what this guy's done with our team, and he has to leave.